Kabir has been villain of the James Bond film Octopussy, starred in the most watched American series, The Bold and the Beautiful. How many of you have seen The Bold and the Beautiful and were hooked on it? And of course, he has been European star of the hugely, phenomenally successful Italian TV series Sandokan.
Thank you.
He has also been knighted by the Italian Republic for his achievements, and he is a voting member of the Oscars. His autobiography, Stories I Must Tell, I love that title. The Emotional Life of an Actor in India was voted the Amazon's most popular book award in 2021. In Italy, it won the Diva and Divono Book of the Year award. So please...
At the Venice Film Festival.
At the Venice Film Festival. Please welcome Kabir Bedi. Now, Kabir, our talk today is titled Breaking into the International Markets Creatively. And creatively, the synonyms for creatively are inventively, cleverly, artfully, and ingeniously. Your journey, you are almost a poster boy for international success at a time when the world was very, very distanced. There was no internet, there was hardly much foreign travel, and you conquered first Bollywood, then you went to Europe, America, and England, which has a different culture, and you worked and succeeded in all. There must have been vast cultural shocks for you and vast differences between these three working environments. Tell us about that journey.
You know, Malvika, when an American tourist, say, comes to India and he's assaulted with all kinds of strange and new sights and sounds and smells and accents and different visuals that he's not seen before, it's an assault on all his five senses because it's unusual, it's new, it's different to what he's used to. And it's all quaint and cute and nice, but the body is absorbing a lot of these inputs. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he knows that he'll go back to America, where everything will be normal again, within quotes, and he will have time to process everything he went through. And this culture shock that he went through in India will sort of be okay once he's back on home ground. Now, what happens is when something cataclysmic happens, say a 9/11 happens, or a crash of the world stock markets happen, or COVID happens, suddenly we are in a space where we know nothing will be the same again. And suddenly we're in territory we're not familiar with. And this is, in a sense, future shock. Because you're in a future that's unfamiliar, you're not quite sure what the ground rules are anymore and what will change as a result of it. And there's no going back. There's no safe haven to go back to the familiar ground that you knew. So future shock is a shock that has no recourse. You have to learn to adapt to it, learn to deal with it, learn to reinvent yourself in certain ways. Now, in doing this, and this is part of my journey because I began life in All India Radio Delhi. All India Radio Delhi was a totally government culture. And I sort of cut my working teeth dealing with the politics of a government bureaucracy. And the first chapter of my book is actually about how I interviewed the Beatles and what they did with that interview and why I left left.
But you also were the product of a socialist India and a leftist background, which is
Yes.
very interesting also, because then your journey took you in very different directions.